Physics class 12 part 2. 27. Not even 30, right? Slot 3. Which of the following is associated with cancer? Oncosin, proto-oncosin, loss of contact inhibition. 1, 2, and 3. Which of the following is not a property of cancerous cell, whereas the remaining 3 are? They compete with normal cell for vital nutrients. They do not remain confined in the area of formation. They divide in an uncontrolled manner. They shows contact inhibition. Which of the following is bacterial disease in human? Pneumonia, malaria, plasmodium, plague, bacterial, ANC. A person is injected with globulin against hepatitis. This is naturally acquired active immunity. ना artificially acquired passive immunity ना injection के through दिया जाएगा. A person is injected with globulin against hepatitis. Artificially acquired passive immunity. Which of the following disease is not caused by virus? Chickenpox, rabies, typhoid. Influenza. Which of the following immune system is more potent and long-lived? Tertiary immune system, secondary immune response. Primary immune response only, secondary immune response. Primary, secondary. Human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, has a protein coat and genetic material which is single-stranded RNA or double-stranded RNA. Single-stranded RNA. Two single-stranded RNA. An example of innate immunity is TH cell, lymphocytes, T lymphocyte, pleuropneumonia, PMNL, polymorphonuclear. A person likely to develop tetanus is immunized by performed antibiotics. Okay. The substance is given to cancer patient in order to activate their immune system and destroy the tumor is histamine. The substances given to cancer patient in order to activate their immune system and destroy the tumor cell is alpha interferon. Active component of body defense and column 2. Description. Active natural, first line of defense. Passive natural immunity, second line of defense. Passive natural immunity. Injection of gamma globulins. Passive natural. Seco 1. Seco 5 or 2. Through the plasma. Passive natural immunity. Passive natural immunity. The time gap between infection and its appearance period, incubation period, latent period, stimulation period. The time gap between infection and its appearance. Response period, latent period, stimulation, response period, incubation, latent period, response period. I don't know. Normal cells in our body inhibits the uncontrolled growth of cell which they are in contact with. Normal cell in our body inhibits the uncontrolled growth of cell which they are in contact with. This is called contact inhibition. Which of the following is the false statement about antibiotics? Some persons have allergy from antibiotics. Antibodies are capable of curing any disease. This term was given by Walkman's 1942. Antibiotics is produced by microorganism. Addiction is of drugs and take of tobacco and alcohol. Physiological or psychological dependence. Correct. Select the correct option showing the life cycle of Plasmodium. Sporozoites, human. RBC, liver. Na. Sporozoites, human. Okay. Liver cell, RBCs. Gametocytes and blood. Blood meal. Female mosquito. Sporozoid mosquito. Okay. Gametocyte mosquito. Liver. Gametocyte and blood. Gametocyte mosquito ना स्पोरोजोइट से होता है ना. Active immunity development is related to natural killer cells, memory cells. Active immunity development is related to. Which is not an immunity related disease? AIDS, SCID, Addison's disease, autoimmune disease, cold. SCID, I don't know ये क्या है, यही होगा शायद. Viral. Natural active immunity, natural passive immunity, artificial active immunity, artificial passive immunity. Transferred from mother to child. Natural passive immunity. BCO4. CND, okay. Acquired after a smallpox infection. Anti-rabies serum. Artificial passive immunity. T. DCO2. The anamnestic response against a pathogen is highly intensified. The T lymphocyte produce antibodies. The B lymphocyte produce cell-mediated response. Antibody is represented by H2L4. Anamnestic response against the pathogen is highly intensified. Hepatitis B vaccine is produced from inactivated virus yeast, Haemophilus influenza, Salmonella typhimurium. Hepatitis B yeast. The cell called HIV factory is macrophage. Select the correct statement regarding the characteristics of acquired immunity. Cell-mediated immunity is responsible for acquired immunity. It produces a primary response of low intensity. Active and passive immunity are type of acquired immunity. Polymorphonuclear leukocytes and natural killers cells are involved in acquired immunity. Polymorphonuclear leukocytes and natural killer cells are involved in acquired immunity. No. Active and passive immunity are type of acquired immunity. It produces a primary. Cell-mediated immunity is responsible for acquired immunity. It produces a primary response of low intensity, 1 and 2. Malt constitute about 50% of the lymphoid tissue in human body. The colostrum provide naturally acquired active immunity, passive immunity. B cells are lymphocytes which control humoral immunity and are produced by bone marrow. During an allergic reaction, binding of antigen IgE antibodies initiate a response in which chemical cause the dilation of blood vessels and host of other physiological changes. Such chemicals are allergens. During an allergic reaction, the binding antigens response in which chemical cause the dilation of blood vessels and host of other physiological changes. Such chemicals are allergens. Stamens, okay, yeah. Have to study again. Surgical removal of thymus gland of a newborn shall result in the failure to produce thymus. नहीं है तो क्या होगा? Maturation of T lymphocytes. Filaria is transmitted through Culex mosquito. When a pathogen comes in contact with the body for first time, it causes this response of low intensity, primary response. It is not an Addison's disease. Addison's disease is not related to immunity, okay? Addison's disease. The time gap between infection and appearance is called incubation period. Incubation period. It's called time gap between infection and appearance. This period is called incubation. Incubation period. Secondary immune response. Which of the following immune response is more potent and long-lived? A secondary immune response. Primary response, secondary or anamnestic. More potent and long-lived. More potent and long-lived. ये तो यही दिया है तो. Highly intense, which is of intensity. Highly intensified secondary or anamnestic response. Highly intensified. Artificially acquired passive immunity. A person is injected with globulin against hepatitis is artificially acquired passive immunity. can't. It's okay, ma. The misuse नार्कोटिक एनाल मुझसे नहीं होगा लेकिन पढ़ना पड़ेगा रिवीजन बार बार करो इट्स ओके द मिस the misuse and narcotic analgesic they misuse narcotic analgesic opioids narcotic analgesic anabolic steroids and diuretics narcotic analgesic diuretics and anabolic steroids narcotic analgesic is opioid anabolic steroid मुझसे नहीं होगा diuretics and certain hormone in sports to increase muscle strength and bulk and to promote aggressiveness and as a result increase athletic performance. The side effect of the use of anabolic steroid in females masculinization. Anabolic side effect of use of anabolic steroids in female enlargement of clitoris, irregular menstrual cycle, depression, mood swings, facial and body hair growth, uh, increase in aggressiveness, masculine like male, and then one more is there, masculinization features like male, okay, increase aggressiveness, mood swings, depression, abnormal menstrual cycle, excessive hair growth on facial and body, enlargement of clit, deepening of voices. These are the 8, okay, symptoms. Deepening of voice in males, it includes acne, mood swings, depression, decrease in the size of testicles, enlargement of prostate gland, then premature baldness or hair fall, then increase aggressiveness, acne, increase aggressiveness, mood swings, depression, reduction in the size of testicles, decrease in sperm production, potential for kidney and liver dysfunction, sperm production decreases, potential for kidney and liver dysfunction, breast enlargement, premature baldness, enlargement of prostate gland, okay, acne, premature hair fall, baldness, then they have enlargement of breast, enlargement of prostate gland, reduction in the size of testicles, sperm production reduces, they have acne, aggressiveness increases, depression, mood swings, failure of kidney and liver, potential for kidney and liver dysfunction, breast enlargement, premature baldness, enlargement of prostate gland, reduction of the size of testicles, uh, side effect of drug abuse to increase the performance in athlete, that is anabolic steroid, use of anabolic steroids, okay, side effect of use of anabolic steroids, okay, AIDS and hepatitis B. Those who take drugs intravenously directly injects into the vein using a needle and syringe are much more likely to acquire serious infections like AIDS and hepatitis B. The virus which are responsible for this disease are transferred from one person to another by sharing of infected needles and syringes. Both AIDS and hepatitis B infections are chronic infections and ultimately fatal. Both can be transmitted through sexual contact or infected body blood. I can't. It's okay. Damage of nervous system and liver. The chronic use of drugs and alcohol. The chronic use of drugs and alcohol damage nervous system and liver psoriasis. Nervous system and liver psoriasis will not enhance the performance. Both can be transmitted through sexual. Withdrawal syndrome is okay. Anxiety, sickness, nausea, and sweating. Anxiety, sickness, nausea, and nausea, and sweating. Anxiety, sickness, nausea, and sweating. Hmm. Nausea and sweating. Anxiety, sickness, nausea, and sweating. Dependence is the tendency of the body to manifest a characteristic and unpleasant withdrawal syndrome. Dependence is the tendency of the body to manifest a characteristic and unpleasant withdrawal syndrome. If regular dose of drugs, alcohol is abruptly discontinued, this is characterized by anxiety, shakiness, nausea, and sweating. Anxiety, sickness, nausea, and sweating. Because of the perceived benefits, drugs are frequently used repeatedly. Okay, the most important thing which one fails to realize is the inherent addictive nature of alcohol and drugs. Addiction is a psychological attachment to certain effects such as euphoria and temporary feeling of well-being associated with drugs and alcohol. Opioids, cannabinoids, and coca alkaloid. Opioids, cannabinoids, and coca alkaloid. Majority of these are obtained from flowering plant and fungi. Flowering plant and some obtained from fungi. Opioid appears in CNS and gastrointestinal tract, which binds to specific receptors present in our central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Opioids are drugs which binds to specific opioid receptors present in our central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. Heroin, commonly called as smack, is chemically diacetylmorphine, which is a white color. Diacetylmorphine, white color, odorless, crystalline, and bitter in taste compound. Okay, this is obtained from acetylation of morphine. Morphine is extracted from latex of poppy plant, Papaver somniferum. Okay, generally taken by snorting. Heroin is taken by snorting and injection. Heroin is a depressant and slows down body function. Okay, morphine, sedative and painkiller. Depressant, reduces functional or nervous activity. Maybe, may not be. That one is interferon, this one is alpha interferon. Poppy plant, Papaver somniferum. Okay, cannabinoids are a group of chemical which interact with cannabinoid receptors present mainly in the brain. Okay, principally in the brain. Natural cannabinoids are obtained from the inflorescence of the plant not papaver. This one is cannabis sativa. The flower tops, leaves, and the resins of cannabis. The flower tops. Okay, ganja, marijuana, charas, and hashish. Charas, ganja, and marijuana generally kept in Inhalation and oral ingestion. Inhalation and oral ingestion, these are known for the effects on cardiovascular system, effects on cardiovascular system of the body, effects on cardiovascular system of the body. It's okay ma, taken generally, it's okay. That was really weird, but क्या ही कर सकते हैं. Generally taken by snorting and injection. Heroin is depressant, slows down body function. Okay. Effect on cardiovascular system. Inhalation on oral injection. Coca alkaloid or cocaine is obtained from coca plant, Erythrooxylum coca. Coca alkaloid or cocaine is obtained from coca plant, Erythrooxylum, native to South America. Okay, they are native to South America. They are also known as cocaine, coke or crack. With the transport of it interferes with the transport of neurotransmitter dopamine. It interferes with the transport of neurotransmitter dopamine. Cocaine, commonly called coke or crack, is usually snorted. It has a potent stimulating action on central nervous system. It has a potent stimulating action on central nervous system, producing a sense of euphoria, strong feeling of happiness. It has a potent stimulating action on central nervous system, producing a sense of euphoria and increased energy. Sense of euphoria, a strong feeling of happiness, a strong feeling of happiness. मुझे नहीं पता. Strong feeling of happiness. It has a potent stimulating action on central nervous system, producing a sense of euphoria and increased energy. Excessive doses of cocaine causes hallucination. Excessive doses of cocaine causes hallucination. Erythrooxylum coca. Producing sense of euphoria and increased energy. Excess doses of cocaine cause hallucination. Dosage of cocaine causes hallucination. Other well-known plant causing hallucination is belladonna, Atropa belladonna and dhatura. Atropa belladonna and dhatura. Atropa belladonna and dhatura. Okay. These days, cannabinoids are also being used by the sportsperson. Coca alkaloid or cocaine is obtained from coca plant, Erythrooxylum coca, native to South America. It interferes with the transport of neurotransmitter dopamine. Cocaine, commonly called as coke or crack, is usually snorted. They are usually snorted. It has a potential stimulating action on central nervous system, action on CNS. Okay. Producing a sense of euphoria and increased energy. Excessive doses often cause hallucination. Atropa belladonna and dhatura are other plants which causes hallucinogenic properties. Astaghfirullah, I don't want to remember it, please. These days, cannabinoids, this one, are also being abused by some sportsperson. Okay, barbiturates, amphetamines, and one more was there, right? Benzodiazepines, barbiturates, amphetamines, barbiturates, barmeben, benzodiazepines, amphetamines, and other similar drugs that are normally used as medicine to help patients cope with mental illness like depression and insomnia are abused. Morphine is very effective sedative and painkiller and useful for surgery patient. Okay, patient which has undergone surgery. Okay, several plants, fruits and seeds having hallucinogenic properties have been used for hundreds of years in folk medicine, religious ceremonies and rituals all over the globe. Physical psychology, other than medicinal use or in amount frequency that impairs one physical, physiological or psychological function. Physical, physiological or psychological function, it constitute drug abuse. Okay. Bar, barbiturates, amphetamines, and last one is benzodiazepines, insomnia insomnia and depression. Insomnia and depression. Okay. Alpha interferon modify activate our immune system and detect cancer cells. Modify activate our immune system and detect cancer cells. It's okay. ELISA enzyme linked immunosorbent as safe. Smoking also paves the way. Okay, 400 more than 400 years tobacco has been used. Okay, snuff inhaled through nose. Tobacco, smoke, chew, or snuff. Tobacco contains chemical substances called including nicotine, addictive chemical present in tobacco, nicotine, okay, and alkaloid. Nicotine is an alkaloid. Opoid, cannabinoid, and coca alkaloid. Nicotine stimulates adrenal gland and non-adrenal adrenal adrenal gland and non-adrenal gland. Non-adrenal gland, okay. ग्लैंड होते हैं ना इसमें निकोटिन स्टिमुलेट्स एड्रिनल ग्लैंड टू रिलीज एड्रिनलिन एंड नॉन एड्रिनलिन बना ना एड्रिनलिन एंड नॉर बंदा भाई नॉन बंदा नॉर एड्रिनलिन इनटू ब्लड सर्कुलेशन ब्लड प्रेशर इंक्रीज गर्छ हार्ट बीट इंक्रीज गर्छ रेज ब्लड प्रेशर एंड इंक्रीज हार्ट बीट रेट एल्कलोइड होला यो के हो एल्कलोइड हो के नॉर एड्रिनलिन एड्रिनलिन blood circulation, raise blood pressure, increase heart rate. Okay. Emphysema हुन्छ lung cancer, throat cancer, then अरू के हुन सक्छ न त urinary bladder cancer. छट्टा भएको हैन टोटल कतिवटा छ 7 वटा छ थ्रोट पनि भयो emphysema भयो हो lung cancer, emphysema, urinary bladder, throat cancer. Bronchitis, coronary heart disease and gastric ulcer. Bronchitis, coronary heart disease and gastric ulcer. Bronchitis, coronary heart disease and gastric ulcer. Oral cavity, cancer of the oral cavity. Reduces the concentration of reduces the concentration of heme-bound oxygen. Reduces the concentration of heme-bound oxygen. 50% of the lymphoid tissue in human body. Allergy is due to the release of chemicals like histamine and serotonin. Histamine and serotonin from the mast cell. Mast cell activate भएर दुईटा chemicals release हुन्छ जसलाई allergens भन्छ के histamine and serotonin. Antihistamine चाहियो steroids दिँदा पनि भयो अन्त त्यहाँदेखि एउटा के छ adrenaline शायद antihistamine, adrenaline and steroids. Antihistamine, adrenalines and steroids. Okay, bronchoconstriction and vasodilation. Histamine and serotonin. Antihistamine, steroids and adrenaline. Rheumatoid arthritis, myasthenia gravis, psoriasis, vitiligo, Graves' disease, diabetes mellitus type 1 and rheumatic fever, autoimmune disorder. Rheumatoid arthritis, myasthenia gravis, psoriasis, vitiligo, Graves' disease. Bone marrow, B lymphocyte matures, T lymphocyte matures. Acquired immunity, acquired after birth, pathogen specific. They are pathogen specific. B and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes form specific antibodies against antigen. Memory retained previous infection. Okay, primary response slow or less intense. First time for the pathogen entering the body, antibody formed against virus. Memory of B and T lymphocyte formed. Okay, primary response slow and less intense. Secondary anamnestic response. Second time infection activate intense or fast response. Virus is killed before causing disease. Acquired immunity, cell mediated immunity and humoral immunity. Pathogen in blood produced by B lymphocyte. Antibodies produced by B lymphocyte. Antibody in blood is produced by B lymphocyte. Memory B for secondary response. Macrophages engulf the foreign body. Plasma cell is associated. Okay, CMI, cell mediated immunity. Produced by T lymphocyte, kills the infected T lymphocyte. Infected cell by T lymphocytes. Produced by T lymphocyte. Antibodies. Lymphocyte kills the infected cell by T lymphocyte. T helper cells helps B lymphocyte to produce antibodies. Okay, hel- T helper cells helps B lymphocytes to produce antibodies. Memory T for secondary response. Organ grafting, graft rejection के लिए T lymphocyte responsible है. Tissue making, blood type matching, tissue matching, blood type matching and immunosuppressant. Cyclosporin A, found in fungus Trichoderma polysporum. Macrophages, T helper cells and cytokinin are associated with CMI. Macrophages engulf the foreign body. Okay, plasma cell is associated with humoral immunity. Humoral immunity. Plasma cell is associated with humoral immunity. Humoral immunity. Humoral immunity. Immune system. Lymphoid cells, tissues, organ plus antibody. Immune system. Lymphoid cell, tissue, organ plus antibody. Antibodies are soluble. Okay. Lymphoid organ, primary and secondary lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organ are of two types: bone marrow, red bone marrow, and thymus. B lymphocytes matures in bone marrow. All WBCs are formed in bone marrow. Okay. T lymphocyte matures in thymus. T lymphocyte matures in thymus, bone marrow. B lymphocyte matures in bone marrow. Okay. All WBCs are produced in bone marrow. Immature, antigen-sensitive mature lymphocytes and mature well secondary lymphoid organ. Here lymphocytes interact. With foreign antigens. Activated lymphocyte effector cell. Activated lymphocyte effector cell once okay migrate to secondary lymphoid organism. Thymus, lobed structure. It's okay. Thymus, lobed structure, decrease in size with age. Dorsal to sternum location. Dorsal to sternum, ventral to heart. Thymus, lobed structure, decrease in size with age. Secondary lymphoid organ. Lymphoid node, solid structure, small solid structure. Okay, checkpoint. Lymphoid node has both B and T lymphocyte. Lymphoid node has both B and T lymphocyte. Tonsils, spleen, graveyard of RBC, reservoir of RBC, large bean shaped spleen, large bean shaped graveyard of RBC, reservoir of RBC. Lymph node has lymphocyte. Lymph node has lymphocytes, phagocytes, filtration of blood, body fluid, filtration of blood fluid, blood-borne microbes. Okay, spleen. It is spleen, not HI. Humoral immunity. Spleen जैसा. Spleen. Lymph node has lymphocyte, phagocyte. Okay, filtration of blood or body fluid. Trap blood-borne microbes. Peyer's patches, small intestine, lymphocyte cells. Type of malt. Peyer's patches, type of malt. Mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Peyer's patches in small intestine. Okay. Malt. Respiratory passages, digestive passages, and urogenital. Respiratory. Mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. 50% of the total lymphoid tissue is in body. 50% of total lymphoid tissue in body. Secret mucus. Okay, malt. Respiratory passages, gastrointestinal and urogenital. Digestive passages and urogenital. Okay, appendix. Helper T cells to become plasma membrane. B and T lymphocytes become plasma cells. Helper T cells activate B and T lymphocytes to become plasma cells. Helper T cells activate B and T lymphocytes to become plasma cells. Plasma cell active in production antibodies. Okay, I actually woke 8, 11 में आवर पढ़ रहे हैं, 1 आवर पढ़ रहे हैं। टाइम वेस्ट ही तो किया। हेल्पर टी सेल्स एक्टिवेट बी lymphocyte to become plasma cell activate in production of antibodies. Killer T cell combined with antigen causing lysis and release of cytokinins. Plasma cell active in production of antibodies. Active in production of antibodies. Helper T cell activate B and T lymphocytes to become plasma cell. बहुत ही ज़्यादा बकवास चीज़ें कर रही हूँ। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 आवर्स, 5 घंटा वेस्ट किया, 3 घंटा ही भरा। हेल्पर टी सेल्स एक्टिवेट बी एंड टी लिम्फोसाइट टू बिकम प्लाज्मा सेल एक्टिव इन प्रोडक्शन ऑफ एंटी। मैं जब से उठी हूँ ना तब से अभी तक 8 आवर्स हो गए हैं और मैंने शायद ज़्यादातर पता नहीं क्या किया। 3 आवर पढ़ा, 1 आवर का क्लास, 1 आवर कुकिंग किया, 1 आवर कपड़े धोया, 5 आवर, 3 आवर फिर भी कहीं गया। आई डोंट नो। I'll sleep, okay? Helper T cells, or should I study? हम लोगों का 3rd स्लॉट कंप्लीट हो गया है वैसे। कहाँ पर लिखते हैं? यहाँ पर ना, B and T lymphocytes to become plasma cell. Plasma cell antibodies बनाउँदो रहेछ नि त। B र T लाई प्लाज्मा बनाउने चाहिँ को हेल्पर टी सेल्स लाइसिस गरिदिन्छ। somehow कर दिया है। हम लोगों का स्लॉट 3 कंप्लीटेड, स्लॉट 3 डन। आज 8 है क्या? मुझे लगा आज 9th है। वो आज 8 तो है। I was studying bio, Leo. Feeling sleepy, ma. All the best to you. Same, I'm also kind of sleepy, but I have to study, I don't have time. I also want to sleep. Hi, Rudransh. How's the exam? यूपीएससी टॉपर। पहले पूछ तो लेता भाई कौन सा एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रही है। तुझे आने से ही हगना है ना। मैं यूपीएससी के लिए तैयारी ही नहीं कर रही हूँ बेवकूफ़। मुझे नहीं पता, मेरा मैथ्स नहीं था 10 के बाद। थैंक यू शुभम। You know, those are not my friends. I don't know why they come in this live stream. इस एक तो मन करता है कि मैं इग्नोर करूँ ना, फिर मुझसे इग्नोर होता ही नहीं। हाय सागर। I am from Sikkim, Leo. Learn English. Give me money and then I'll learn. I'm not preparing for need. That's why I'm taking it lightly. Okay. I got it, Miban. There was someone named Abandu, right? Where is he right now? नहीं, अभी बोलने का ही दिल नहीं है, यही तो परेशानी है। I think I'm preparing for need. नहीं, PCMB ले लो। मैं कॉफ़ी पी के स्लॉट 4 स्टार्ट कर देती हूँ, ओके? वैसे क्योंकि लोगों का नेगेटिविटी तो वैसे भी ख़त्म नहीं होने वाला है, लेकिन मेरा तो एग्ज़ाम आ रहा है ना। आई हैव टू स्कोर 500 एनी हाउ। आप मेरे को बेस्ट कोचिंग बता सकते हो क्या जेई के मॉड्यूल के लिए? आइए, मैं जेई की एस्पिरेंट ही नहीं हूँ, मुझे कैसे पता होगा, लेकिन तुम एलन में ही जाओ। दैट्स ऑल आई वांट टू से। मैं कॉफ़ी लेके आती हूँ, मैं कॉफ़ी पी के ना पढ़ लेती हूँ, क्योंकि तुम लोग ना जो अच्छा बोलने वाले होते हैं अच्छे ही बोलते रहते हो, जिसे नहीं बोलना होता है वो बुरे ही बोलते रहते हो। मैं क्या ही बोलूँ तुम लोग। Hi, Dr. Lover. कोई सॉरी बोल रहा है लेकिन आई डोंट नो क्यों. हाय. You. इतना फनी फनी कमेंट है यहाँ पर. आई कांट बिलीव कि लोग ये सब बोलते हैं. ये कमेंट पढ़ के एक ही चीज बोलने का दिल कर रहा है, भिखारी सागर. लेकिन उसको हाइड कर दिया है. तपाईँ मेरो फेभरेट आउनु भएको थिएछ, मैले नोटिसै गरिनँ। If you are still there, मैले फेभरेट कसलाई भनेको भन्नु त? तपाईँलाई भनेको मुकुन्द न्यौपाने। I was so busy scrolling, I didn't saw him. He was there. मैले तपाईँको नि स्कोर यहाँनिर लेखिरहेको छु हो, त्यहाँदेखि मुनि हाइलाइटरले म जहिले हेर्दै यहाँनिर बस्छु, मलाई योभन्दा ज्यादा स्कोर चाहियो, मलाई योभन्दा ज्यादा स्कोर चाहियो भन्दै। रे अप्टिक्सको छेउमा छ तपाईँको स्कोर। तपाईँको स्कोरमाथि अझै एकजना साथीको स्कोर छ। यो दुईटामा एउटा चाहियो। एउटा मात्रै याद छ 2020 वाला। 2021 को चाहिँ नभन्नु है, बेसी छ भने। यो पनि मेरो लागि बेसी भयो। $2020 वाला यहाँ छ, 2019 वाला हेरेको छुइनँ। म कोही बेला तपाईँको च्यानलमा गएर, आज बिहान होला कोही बेला भन्दा पनि तपाईँको च्यानलमा गएर मैले भिडियो हेर्दै थिएँ। नहेर्नु पनि, अब चाहिँ हेर्नु मन पऱ्यो त्यस्तो भन्नुभएको बादमा चाहिँ। मेरो निटको बेलाको भिडियो, हजुर। स्टडीदेखि फिडअप भएर युट्युब स्टार्ट गरेको थिएँ। भनेपछि त्यो एउटा मात्रै भिडियो त होइन होला है, अझै छ होला है। मैले बाइ द वे तपाईँको स्कुल पनि देखेँ नि, टिएनएसएस रहेछ है। मिङ्ग्युरहरूको ब्याच हो कि उनीहरूभन्दा एक ब्याच सिनियर या जुनियर? ग्युर जयाहरू छ नि है। ओके, लाग्दै थियो मलाई उनीकै ब्याच होला भनेर। अब नभन्नु उनीहरूलाई गएर चिन्दिनँ म। पढौँ है अब पर आई हेभ माई लास्ट एक्जाम मन्डे, त्यहाँदेखि कोर्स सक्छ। त्यहाँदेखि त तपाईँ कति खुसी है। अल दि बेस्ट मन्डेको लागि। धन्यवाद, छिटो लेख्नुभयो। the living world, biological classification, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, plant morphology, respiration in plant, breathing and exchange, body fluid and circulation, excretory product and their elimination. Human health and disease, microbes in human welfare. The chemical substances produced by some microbes which can kill or retard the growth of microbes are called antibiotics. It produces food crop rich in lipid. It produces food crops rich in consider the following for a statement and related to organic farming and select the correct option. Okay. It produces food and crop rich in lipids, vitamins and iron. It uses biofertilizers with increased soil fertility. 2 is true. It is raising unpolluted crops through the use of bacterial. It is raising unpolluted crops. Bacterial, fungal, and cyanobacteria. True. Virus multiply only inside living cells. Virus help host cell to grow and host cell in growth and development. Na microbes are used in primary treatment of sewage. No. Secondary treatment of sewage. Yes. Anaerobic sludge digester. Correct. Production of bioactive molecules. Bioactive molecules. 3 and 4. A chemical substance produced by a microorganism for inhibiting the growth of another is. A chemical substance produced by a microorganism for inhibiting the growth of another is antibiotic. Milk is converted to curd by lactobacillus. Which of the following helps in absorption of phosphorus from soil by plants? Frankia, Anabina, Glomus. Biofertilizers are fertilizers formed by obtained by decay. Fertilizers prepared by mixing cattle dung and some bacteria and cyanobacteria. IARI and KVIC stands for Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Agricultural. Khadi and Village Industries combination. Khadi and Village Commission. Okay. Agricultural Research Institute and Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Biofertilizers are organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. Azolla is used as a biofertilizer because it multiplies very fast to produce massive biomass. Cyanobacteria, Azolla. Dragonflies can be used to decrease. Baculovirus are effective in controlling many insect and other arthropods. that serves as an important cyanobacteria, azotobacter, methanobacteria, cyanobacteria. Biological control of agriculture based, unlike chemical control, is self-perpetuating, polluting, very expensive, toxic. Based, unlike chemical control, is biological control of agriculture based. Biological control of agriculture based, unlike chemical control, is self-perpetuating, polluting, very expensive, toxic. Biological control, agricultural based. Chemicals control is very expensive, toxic, perpetuating. The gas produced as end product during growth and metabolism of microbes depends on during anaerobic digestion of organic waste, such as in producing biogas, which one of the following is left undegraded? During anaerobic digestion of organic waste, such as in producing biogas, which one of the following is left undegraded? Lipids, lignin, hemicellulose, cellulose. During anaerobic digestion of organic waste, during anaerobic digestion of organic waste, biogas, which one of the following is left undegraded? Lipids, lignin, hemicellulose, cellulose. An organ transplant patient is not provided with cyclosporin A. If not, we reject the transplanted organ. Cyclosporin A inhibits the activation of T cells and interferes with the destruction of non-self cells. Which of this is non-bacterial biofertilizers? Azobacter, Rhizobium mycorrhiza. The primary treatment of stable particles, toxic substances, dissolved impurities, stable particles, toxic substances, harmful bacteria. Select the incorrect match. Citric acid. Clostridium acetobutylicum. Meniscus purpureus. Which of the following is put into wrong. Lignin. During anaerobic digestion of organic waste, such as producing biogas, which one of the following is left undegraded? Lignin. During aerobic digestion of organic waste, such as in producing biogas, of the following is left undigested. It is lignin. Lignin. Undigested remain. Select the correct pair of microorganism and the product obtained from it. Monascus purpuris produce large holes in Swiss cheese. No. Monascus purpuris. Statins. Saccharomyces cerevisiae used for making wine and beer after distillation. Na wine and beer में distillation चाहिए without distillation of wine and beer. Streptococcus produce streptokinase which is used to remove clot. Correct. Streptokinase. Correct. Aspergillus niger produces citric acid and butyric acid. Citric acid only. Read the following statement. The correct option. Biocontrol refers to the biological method of controlling plants, disease, and biocontrol refers to use of biological method for controlling plant disease and pest. Use of biocontrol measures will greatly reduce our dependence on toxin. Both 1 and 2 are correct. An organ transplant patient, if not provided with cyclosporin A, may reject the transplanted organ. When transplant patient, if not provided with cyclosporin A, may reject the transplanted organ. Cyclosporin A inhibits the activation of T cells and interferes with the destruction of non-self cells. Both the statement 1 and 2 are true. Biocontrol refers to the use of biological method. Use of greatly reduce our dependence on toxic chemicals and pesticides. easy tensely. Ecological succession. Ecosystem. Mark the incorrect match. Primary productivity varies in different types of ecosystem. Primary productivity varies in different types of ecosystem. GPP, available biomass for the consumption of herbivores. 55, incorrect, okay. 55 billion tons annual NPP of ocean. Secondary productivity, rate of formation of new organic matter by consumer. Primary productivity, available biomass for consumption of herbivores, okay. Primary productivity varies in different types of ecosystem. GPP, available for the biomass of the GPP, available biomass for the consumption of herbivores. Available biomass for consumption of herbivores. This is incorrect match. GPP, gross primary product, represents the total amount of energy consumed by plants during photosynthesis in ecosystem. Okay. Which of the following organism in the given food web act as secondary consumer? Rabbit, grasshopper, lizard, hawk, mouse, snake. Which of the following organism in the given food web act as secondary consumer? This is producer, primary consumer, again primary consumer. Snake, hawk and lizard. Snake, hawk and lizard, that is CHF. Tertiary in case of hawk. Yo. Ecosystem. An ecosystem can be visualized as a functional unit of nature, where living organisms interact with themselves and also with surrounding physical environment. An ecosystem is can be visualized as a functional unit. Ecosystem, functional unit of nature, where living organisms interact among themselves and also with surrounding physical environment. Ecosystem varies greatly in size from a small pond to large forest or a sea. Many ecologists regards the entire biosphere as a global ecosystem. Many ecologists regards the entire biosphere as a global ecosystem. It's okay, ma. As a composite of all local ecosystem on Earth. Since this system is too much big and complex to be studied at one time, it is convenient to divide it into two basic categories, namely the terrestrial and aquatic, forest, grassland, and desert. Are some of the terrestrial ecosystem, and lake, wetland, river, estuary are some example of aquatic ecosystem. Crop field and aquarium may be considered as man-made ecosystem. This is artificial ecosystem. Okay, example: crop cropland ecosystem has least genetic diversity. Cropland ecosystem has least genetic diversity. We will first look at the structure of the ecosystem. We will first look at the structure of ecosystem. We will first look at the structure of ecosystem. In order to appreciate the input productivity, transfer of energy, food chain web, nutrient cycling, and the output degradation and energy loss. We will also look at the relationship, cycles, chains, webs that are created. We will also look at the relationship, cycles, chain, webs that are created as a result of this energy flow within the system and their interrelationship. ये बहुत ही गंदा चैप्टर है इकोसिस्टम coined by E.Z. Tansley. Okay, cropland ecosystem has least genetic diversity. An ecosystem can be visualized as a functional unit of nature. यही बस important लगा, where living organisms interact with themselves and also with surrounding physical environment. An ecosystem can be visualized. Ecosystem can be visualized as a functional unit. Ecosystem, functional unit of nature. Functional unit of nature, your ecosystem. Okay. Many ecologists regard the entire biosphere as global ecosystem, Many ecologists regard the entire biosphere as a global ecosystem, as a composite of all local ecosystem on Earth. Since the system is too much big and complex to be studied at one time, it is convenient to divide it into two basic categories. System is okay. Entire biosphere as a global ecosystem. Entire biosphere, global ecosystem, okay? Divided into global ecosystem is divided into two basic category: terrestrial and aquatic. Forest, grassland and desert are some example of terrestrial ecosystem. Pond, lake, wetland, river and estuary are some example of aquatic ecosystem. Crop filled and an aquarium may also be considered as man-made ecosystem. Crop filled and aquarium, man-made ecosystem. We will first look at the structure of the ecosystem. We will first look at the structure of the ecosystem. We will first look at the structure of the ecosystem in order to appreciate the input productivity. We will first look at the structure of the ecosystem in order to appreciate the input productivity. We will first look at the structure of the ecosystem in order to appreciate the input productivity, transfer of energy, food chain, food web, nutrient cycling, and input and the output degradation and energy loss. We will also look at the relationships, cycles, chains, webs that are created as a result of this energy flow within the system and their interrelationship. Ecosystem structure and functional. Ecosystem structure and function, okay? Structure and function. In earlier class you have in earlier classes you have looked at various components of the environment, abiotic and biotic, okay? In earlier class you have various components of environment, abiotic and biotic. You studied how components of environment, abiotic and biotic. You studied how the individual biotic and abiotic factors affected each other and their surrounding. You studied how the individual biotic and abiotic factors affected each other and their surroundings. You studied how the individual biotic and abiotic factors affected each other and their surrounding. Let us look at these components in more integrated manner and see how the flow of energy takes place within these components of the ecosystem. Interaction of biotic and abiotic components results in it's okay. Interaction of biotic and abiotic component result in a physical structure that is characteristics. Interaction of biotic and abiotic component result in physical structure that is characteristic for each type of ecosystem. Identification and enumeration of plant and animals species of an ecosystem gives its species composition. Vertical distribution of different species occupying different level is called vertical distribution of different species occupying different levels is called stratification. Stratification meaning one other. Vertical distribution of different species occupying different levels or strata. These are called as stratification. Okay, vertical different species like अलग अलग level में क्या करना distribute करना. For example, trees occupy the vertical strata or layer of the forest. For example, trees occupy the vertical strata, layer of forest, shrubs, the second, and herbs and grasses occupy the bottom layer. Trees occupy the vertical strata or layer of forest. For example, trees occupy vertical distribution of different species. It's okay. Trees occupy the top vertical strata. Example, tree occupy top vertical strata layer of a forest. The component of The components of ecosystem are seen to function as unit. The components of ecosystem are seen to function as a unit when you consider the following aspect. Components of ecosystem are seen to function as unit: productivity, decomposition, energy flow, and nutrient cycling. Productivity, decomposition, energy flow, and nutrient cycling. Nutrient cycling. Three, four, five, six, seven. अजीब लग रहा है यार. molecules need one shot treat to ma'am.
क्या तुम कोई मीट ले लो, ईट का टुकड़ा ले लो, या तुम कोई बैक्टीरियल कॉलोनी ले लो, इस बात से फर्क नहीं पड़ता कौन सा लिविंग कोई ले लो, तुम मंगल ले लो, मीट ले लो, यूकेरियोटिक सेल ले लो, ईट का टुकड़ा ले लो, कोई बैक्टीरियल कॉलोनी, जब इनको एनालाइज करोगे तो ये किस चीज से बने हुए, तो तुम पाओगे कि ये सेम चीजों से बने हुए, सेम एलिमेंट्स से बने हुए। हम कहते हैं ना कि मिट्टी से आए थे और मिट्टी में मिल जाओगे, ये बात बहुत सही है। जो एलिमेंट्स मिट्टी में मिलते हैं वही आपके टिश्यू में, ठीक है जी, जैसे कि कार्बन हो गया, हाइड्रोजन हो गया, ऑक्सीजन हो गया, नाइट्रोजन हो गया, फास्फोरस हो गया, सल्फर हो गया और भी बहुत, यही एलिमेंट्स आपकी मिट्टी में मिलते हैं टिश्यू। फिर फर्क क्या, हमारे और एक मिट्टी के टुकड़े में डले में क्या फर्क, फर्क ये कि इसके फॉर्म अलग हो जाते हैं। अगर मैं नॉन लिविंग की बात करूं तो ये इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म में चीजें मिलेंगी। इनऑर्गेनिक का फॉर्म का मतलब है, मान लो जैसे सैंड है तो आपको SiO2 में मिलता है सैंड, आई थिंक यही सैंड होता है, या आपको पानी मिल गया H2O में मिल गया, या आपको कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड मिल गया CO2 में, ये इन्हीं एलिमेंट्स में इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म्स हैं। और अगर लिविंग की बात करें, यानी लिविंग का मतलब क्या है, सेल की बात करें, लिविंग का मतलब क्या है यहाँ पे, अगर मैं सेल की बात करूं तो मुझे ये इनऑर्गेनिक और ऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म्स दोनों में मिल जाए। इतनी बात समझ में आई है? आवाज आ रही है? आवाज आ रही है? वॉइस लो है भाई, वॉइस तेज करो, वॉइस लो है, बफरिंग आ रहा है, बच्चे कह रहे हैं कर रहे हैं।
Lecture 6, lecture 7, then there is lecture 8, lecture 9, total 9, okay, 9 hours. Principle of inheritance. Morphology and anatomy, plant kingdom from photosynthesis and aerial plant. Principle of inheritance here. Neotropy.
ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट चैप्टर है बेटा, और इसको खत्म करने में कम से कम 3-4 दिन लगेंगे। तो अगर हम आज से भी शुरू करेंगे तो भी हफ्ते के एंड तक खत्म कर पाएंगे। आओ बात करते हैं मॉलिक्यूलर बेसिस ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस की। इसके ना पार्ट्स बहुत सारे हैं चैप्टर के, एक पार्ट खत्म करते हो दूसरा शुरू हो जाता है, दूसरा खत्म करते हो तीसरा शुरू हो जाता है, तो इसको पार्ट्स में पढ़ना है हमें, ठीक है। अब देखो, जैसा कि तुम देख पा रहे हो, इसकी वेटेज देखो कितनी है चैप्टर्स के। 9 क्वेश्चन, 6 क्वेश्चन, 10 क्वेश्चन, 40 मार्क्स का पेपर इस चैप्टर से आया था। वेरी अनफेयर, जब आपके पास 38 चैप्टर्स थे तो 40 मार्क्स का पेपर एक चैप्टर से आना बहुत अनफेयर चीज है, बट ये सच्चाई है। में इस चीज का ध्यान रखना है। 2024 में आप कहीं भी 5 से 10 क्वेश्चन एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो इसमें। तो 20 से 40 नंबर का मतलब, जो हमने पहले वो वाला क्वेश्चन किया है हमने, जो हमने पहले जो चैप्टर किया है ना मेंडल वाला, उससे भी इम्पोर्टेंट है ये चैप्टर, ये मान के चलो तुम। It has more weightage than first chapter of genetics. It has more weightage than first chapter of genetics. It is lengthier than first chapter of genetics. लेंथियर देन फर्स्ट चैप्टर जेनेटिक्स, लेकिन इसकी अच्छी बात क्या है, इट इज इजियर देन फर्स्ट चैप्टर जेनेटिक्स। इसमें इतनी टेक्निकल चीजें हैं नहीं जितनी फर्स्ट चैप्टर जेनेटिक्स में। इट इज एक्चुअली इजियर देन फर्स्ट चैप्टर जेनेटिक्स, समझ रहे हो? तो ये इसका एडवांटेज है। अगर आप सिर्फ सुनते रहोगे ना, समझते रहोगे, आपको ज्यादा दिक्कत करने की जरूरत नहीं, कोई क्रॉस नहीं बनाना। कोई वो नहीं आ सकते, क्या कहते हैं, कोई न्यूमेरिकल नहीं आ सकते चैप्टर से, क्या आएगा? फैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, जो एनसीईआरटी में लाइन है उससे पूछेगा, क्या हम एनसीईआरटी की लाइन टू लाइन ले सकते हैं 40 नंबर के लिए? खा जाएंगे हम एनसीईआरटी 40 नंबर के लिए, तो रखना तो बहुत छोटी बात है। आओ देखो, इस चैप्टर में 2-3 पार्ट्स हैं, तो हमें इसको पार्ट बाय पार्ट करना है। जैसे पहला पार्ट है डीएनए, डीएनए का स्ट्रक्चर, डीएनए की पैकेजिंग, सही, डीएनए की पैकेजिंग, देन experiments to show that DNA is the genetic material in majority of organisms. बस is the genetic material. फिर डीएनए वर्सेस आरएनए, डीएनए वर्सेस आरएनए लड़ाई करेंगे, डीएनए के क्या फीचर्स हैं, आरएनए के क्या फीचर्स हैं, ठीक है? फिर रेप्लिकेशन ऑफ डीएनए, डीएनए से डीएनए कैसे बनता है, फिर ट्रांसक्रिप्शन, डीएनए से आरएनए कैसे बनता है, ये पहला पार्ट है, ठीक है? इस पार्ट को खत्म करने के लिए फोकस करेंगे। पहला स्ट्रक्चर, दूसरा इसकी पैकेजिंग कैसे होती है, तीसरा कि भैया डीएनए इज द जेनेटिक मटेरियल, आरएनए तो नहीं है, कहीं प्रोटीन तो नहीं है, उसको पता करने के लिए हमने एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करने हैं। एक्सपेरिमेंट कौन सा साइंटिस्ट ने कौन सा एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, तो एक्सपेरिमेंट में क्या किया था वो हमें याद रहना चाहिए। 3 एक्सपेरिमेंट्स से कुछ नहीं, 3 एक्सपेरिमेंट्स हैं, नाम से याद होना चाहिए, ठीक है? देन डीएनए वर्सेस आरएनए, डीएनए के क्या फीचर्स हैं, आरएनए के क्या फीचर्स हैं, देन अच्छा रेप्लिकेशन ऑफ डीएनए, डीएनए से डीएनए कैसे बनेगा। आज की क्लास में इसको तो मैं नहीं करा पाऊंगी, मेरे को इतना बोलने का लग भी नहीं रहा, ना मैं इतनी देर खड़ी हो सकती हूँ, तो मैं यहाँ जितना भी हो सकेगा इसमें से आज करने की कोशिश करनी है, ठीक है? एंड 6 पार्ट है डीएनए से आरएनए कैसे बनता है। दीज आर एक्चुअली वेरी इजी टॉपिक्स, ठीक है? बहुत इजी टॉपिक्स हैं, इनमें चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं, आपको बड़े प्यार से समझ लो। चलो अब शुरू करते हैं। पहली बात तो डीएनए और आरएनए, पहली बात जो डीएनए और आरएनए दोनों न्यूक्लिक एसिड्स हैं, ठीक है? लेकिन डीएनए को श्रेय जाता है जेनेटिक मटेरियल होने का इन मेजॉरिटी ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म, बट डीएनए इज द
मैं थोड़ी देर बाद आऊँ क्योंकि मुझे ना बहुत लोड हो रहा है दिमाग में, सब कुछ नहीं जा रहा है। मैं लाइक इट्स 1, तो मैं थोड़ी देर ना रिफ़्रेश होके उसके बाद ज्वाइन करती हूँ, ओके? क्योंकि मेरा दिमाग में नहीं घुस रहा है, मैं बहुत ही ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस्ड हो गई हूँ ना। मुझे पता है कि पढ़ना है, लेकिन जो भी पढ़ रही हूँ ना वो नहीं जा रहा है दिमाग में।